Check, check, check. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello, check, check, Shabani. Yeah.
Welcome to Broward County Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where the West Indies U19 visits the USA Under-19 in its historic first ever tour for an ICC full member youth side in the United States. So the West Indies come to the shores of Florida. Captain USA Captain Gitika Kodali and Ashmini Munisar had the toss only moments ago. We'll get to that soon. But first, we have the national anthems of the West Indies, and then, of course, USA Under-19. We'll be back shortly, right after the anthems.
going to have West Indies under 19 females versus.
And there you have it, the anthems of both West Indies women's U19 team and the United States under 19 international team. With my co-commentator, Shabani. My name is Ryan Davis. Welcome aboard, everybody. So, Shabani, huge moment, huge event. What does this mean for women's cricket in the United States?
Good evening, Ryan. Good evening, viewers. This is a huge moment. First of all, we have a touring team, a team with international status, the West Indies, a full member nation coming to the shores of the U.S. today in Florida. And also we have coming up in January of next year, the Under-19 World Cup, 16 teams playing in that. So this is a huge moment for women's cricket, for youth women as well, and for USA cricket.
Just want to let everyone know both of these teams have qualified for the Women's U19 World Cup in South Africa in January. They're going to use this stage, this platform, this 5-match T20 series to sort of refine their team, refine their squads in this historic event. We have our umpires for today. It's going to be umpire Ivy Mahabir and Jermaine Lindo as they make their way out to the middle of the field in Broward County Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
We had the toss a little while earlier, and we'll see what happened there.
Welcome to beautiful Broward County Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our first time historic event, an ICC full member youth squad touring the USA. With us, the captains, Gitika Konali, Ashmini Munisar from the West Indies, and our umpire for today. USA Women's Under-19 versus West Indies Under-19 right here in Broward County Stadium. We're here for the coin toss. Umpire, whenever you're ready. Kitika is going to take the toss. Ashmini calls heads. So the West Indies have won the toss. Ashmini, can I have a word? So we've won the toss. Beautiful day for cricket. Any ideas if you're going to bat or bowl first?
We'll bat first.
Any special reason?
Yes, for the past few days, cricket has been playing here, and as we can see, the pitch has been worn to an extent, so which gives us an advantage if we bat first. So that's the reason behind us batting first.
Any ideas, just at the top of your head, what sort of total would the West Indies will be looking for to be a competitive total?
Anything over 120, anything about 120, that's it. Anything over, that's bonus for us.
Thank you, Ashmini.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Kitika, not so much good luck on the toss. What are your thoughts feeling first?
We actually wanted to bowl first if I did win the toss. We felt that because it was our first match, we would want to come out on the field together and just stick to our process, stay with the team. But we're feeling pretty confident coming into this toss. We think we could cut them down to a pretty low total and we can chase it down pretty fast.
Ashmini thinks 120 is a good total out here. Your thoughts on defending 120?
I think we could definitely defend 120. The momentum we've had from the past couple series, I have a lot of confidence in our bowling attack. So we'll go out there, try our best, and hopefully come through.
Thank you, Gitika. While you see out there, the West Indies won the toss in this historic first match out of 5. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, last match on Sunday right here in Broward County Stadium. West Indies choose to bat first. USA Under-19 Women's will bowl. We'll be back shortly with live content in minutes. So welcome back to Broward County Stadium. The first historic ball by Snigdha Paul into the number 17, Chanel Sau. Forward defensive. Right on the mark. First delivery. Tense moment. Take us through that first moment.
Very tense moment, the first ball of a historic series such as this. But Snigdha Paul has been on her game at the regionals and nationals, performing really well.
Paul again, just outside off stump, and so a little hesitant. Those first couple of deliveries, Shabani, getting in there, trying to get your eyes set in. Even the bad balls seem good.
Yeah, nagging length there by Paul as well. She started well these first 2 deliveries. She's been on the money, as I said, in the nationals and regionals that concluded recently that we played in Texas at Musa Stadium, winning the player of the series.
Paul again, right on off stump, not budging from that line and that length. Head coach Shivnarine Chandapol will be clapping in his heart as his opening bowler not giving up an inch to Sau. So the last time the USA played an international match, we saw Paul open the bowling, had a very good first spell. She's known for that sort of corridor sort of bowler. Does she like to move the ball off the pitch in the air? What does she usually do as a tool?
There we see again a great ball. She angles the ball in, and with a little bit of in swing as well, as we're seeing right now, nagging length and line, not allowing any room for the batter to free her arms.
Now, these two openers hail from Trinidad and Tobago. They played against the United States in that defining game, which was eventually won by the USA. Here's Paul. Oh, and this one came right back in. Just like Shabani said, likes to angle the ball back into the right-hander. And so far, 4 dot balls.
A great start for USA here. Asked to field first after losing the toss. We see some changes in the field. We had almost a backward deep point coming back into the circle.
Paul again. This one comes on off stump, and they're going to challenge mid-on. Goes to the keeper's end, but Samaru is back safely. First run on the board for the West Indies, and the first run conceded by the United States. And that's the end of the first over. After 1, it is 1 without loss. So, despite losing the toss, Captain Gitika, she said if she won the toss, she would have bowled first. Is it just out of habit, a preference?
Gitika does like to bowl first, especially the first game of a series. You don't know exactly how the pitch is playing. Some nerves always helps to settle the nerves, I feel personally as well, when you field first versus bat first. And I've seen that she likes to field first, likes to know. You know what the score is, and then you can chase it down, go according to the situation.
We have Gonzalez coming from the commentary end to Sau, who got the single. Short outside, Sau makes no contact. Now Sau and Samaru, both known to be sort of steady, conservative openers. It's up to the US to sort of make something happen in the first couple of overs. They really don't have to actually go after the runs and lose too many wickets. Very dependable opening pair. Gonzalez to Sau. This one's tossed up and driven right back to the bowler.
Also, you have the difference in height between the two batters, so definitely the length will need to be varied depending on if Sau has a more reach and is moving well so far.
This one's tossed up. It's a full toss. Gets piece of it. Didn't get all of it. Goes to mid-off. Gets 1. Sau moves on to 2 without loss.
Lucky there, USA. Sau not getting a good shot on that. Mistiming it. Of course, a no ball due to height.
So for those of you who don't know, the no ball in a T20 means it is a free hit. And what a chance for Samaru to get her first strike as a free hit. And we talked about Samaru and Sau being conservative. Let's see if Samaru steps out of her comfort zone and tries to make the most of this free hit. Gonzalez, it's short and pulled away to backward square, no run. So the SA get away with a dot ball.
Yeah, well bowled there by Gonzalez. Darting that one in, not giving Samaru any time to get under it or go over the field. Good start here for USA so far. Just 3 runs on the board after 9 balls.
So went short again and pulled away. Again, backward squares there. So the one player outside of the circle in this power play is a deep mid-wicket, almost forward of square. Gives Gonzalez some protection for that shorter delivery. But so far, so good for the US. This one's outside off stump, flashed away, points there, no run.
Quick work there at backward point. Fielding's been good, especially what I've seen at nationals and regionals. The fielding of the U.S. has been good. The players have been moving well, stopping good shots.
This one's tossed up again. Doesn't get all of it, but it's in the air and it's caught. Can they get two? They appeal for a call. That's two people out.
A no ball, but a run out there on that occasion. That is a way you can get out on a no ball.
Good call, Shabani. That one was, even though it was a full toss, and Samaru got all of it. It was caught at backward square leg, but because it was too high, it's considered a no ball. And Shabani quite rightly points out you can be run out. So back in the pavilion for two. West Indies lose their first wicket with 5 runs on the board. So awkward play, ball's high. Samaru tries to get all of it. Hits it straight to backward square.
Yes.
Do you take the single there? Do you stand your ground?
It depends, right? If you hit it in the gap, if you hit it over the fielder, yes, there's a run. But just because it's a no ball, a lot of batters, it's happened to me as well. You want to get runs off that ball or the free hit, but if it goes straight to the fielder, there is a chance of getting run out, which is what we saw here just now.
Now, just to clarify to our viewers, that ball does not go to backward square. It goes past, they get runs. Is it still a no ball?
It's still a no ball because as long as the ball is above waist high, whether it's a spinner or a fast bowler, it is a no ball.
Well, you heard it there. Shabani Baxkar, our analyst in this series. And she's going to break everything down from your taxes to running between the wickets.
Might need some help on those taxes, Ryan.
Well, Gonzalez gets to break through, not from the bowling, but from a run out.
Everything counts.
And this will classify as a free hit. This one's tossed up, beautifully bowled. Covers there, no run. Hits the stumps. And that will be the end. No, we have to bowl that one over again. Let's see.
Yes, we had 2 no balls in this over. So a longer over this one by Gonzalez.
So the end of 2 overs, West Indies are 1 for 4.
Janaba Joseph has joined the batter. She was the leading run scorer in the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars tournament that happened a few weeks ago. Comes in with good form.
Now, Janaba Joseph, how is she different to Sao and Samaru in her style of play?
We'll have to watch, but she likes to stroke the ball. Strong on the offside as well. And a good all-rounder. I've actually seen her. She came with a few West Indies players for one of our warm-up games a few years ago, leading into our Americas qualifier, and was very, very impressive. She's still under 19, so much younger then.
So, Samaru's outside off stump. There's protection there, no run. Despite the power play, despite the conditions, United States are bowling tight. Any chance for the West Indies to try to move this thing, just kind of move it along in the first 6 overs?
I think what looks good is a solid platform for them to accelerate later in the back end. After the power play, the field may spread, and that will also offer West Indies more opportunities to take 1s and 2s. So possibility for 4 or 6 runs and over then as well.
Here's Paul from the northern end. This one's right on middle stump, beautifully bowled. We saw a couple of deliveries outside off stump in the opening overs. And now gets this one right onto middle stump.
They're adjusting well to the right-hand, left-hand combination as well. We saw, of course, Sao and Samaru, and now Janaba comes in left. They've been on the money, no wides so far in the innings.
This one's outside off stump, gets sort of an underneath edge, a bottom edge, right back to the bowler, a little frustrated. Understandably so. The West Indies in this power play, 2.3 overs gone, just 4 runs on the board. And losing the wicket of Sao on a run out just moments ago.
coming back to your question about the power play and West Indies needing to go harder, or I think it's more about wickets. As long as they have wickets in hand, they can always accelerate towards the middle and back end of the innings.
Paul, Samaru. Again, just short of a length, can't get it away. So, what do you think will be a justifiable or a competitive score after 6 overs for either team after the power play? What would you be looking for?
Most teams look for 30 to 40, maybe with the loss of 1 wicket. Of course, if you lose more than that, you'd want to be looking 40 and up. Less than that, you would want to be no loss. Of course, West Indies has already lost 1 wicket on that run out of a no ball.
Samaru.
She's looking, you can see the intent. These last 3 balls, she's been stroking the ball. Unfortunately for her, the ball has been in very good areas and hard to get away. We do see that there is a long off for Samaru. And she was looking to go there for 2 balls, and then they pushed that fielder back. But tight lines here by Snigdha Paul.
Oh, and this one again, right on off stump. No chance for Samaru to get that single. And that's the end of 3 overs. The West Indies 4 for 1. And Snigdha Paul is bowling a spell that the West Indies batters just cannot get any runs off of.
Miserly here, just 1 run off her 2 overs. This one a maiden. Rare in T20 cricket, but gold. She's keeping it simple, hitting those lines and good lengths, hard to hit lengths. Not able to go back and smack it, but also not able to push forward and drive through that line, that length either. Good planning and execution as well.
But her partner in crime, Suhani Tadani, is coming from the commentary end. Up the hill, as they would say. So it's outside of stump, tries to just cut it away through backward point, can't get any contact.
So Tadani and Snigdha Paul have slightly different bowling styles. Snigdha Paul angles it in a little more and attacks the stump. Suhani Tadani likes to keep it outside off stump in that channel or corridor, as many people like to call it.
Well, I think Captain Kodali heard you and just put a player deep cover and brought in the deep mid wicket. Again, outside of stump, and this one's cut away beautifully behind square. Could be the first boundary of the innings, and it is. The West Indies scored the first boundary. Courtesy Joseph, she just came in. And a lovely square drive off the back foot.
Great footwork. They're getting close to the ball, getting on top of the bounce. Making sure to play it backward of that point. Not an easy shot to play, especially you have a third man and you have a point. And to bisect those fielders, the third man wasn't able to come around, as we can see, using her feet nicely, getting on top of the bounce. A nice flourish as well.
Love the wrist. West Indians are such wristy players, and it certainly makes the ball go. Tadani, Joseph, and it's a no ball. So after the maiden from the over ago by Paul, Tadani having a hard time with the run-up, overstepping after giving up the boundary. Now, does a boundary sort of affect the bowler? Does it sort of get into the psyche for the next delivery?
It can, especially when you've had quite a good start, and from the other end, Snigdha Paul has just bowled a maiden over.
This one's pitched up and driven through the covers. Beautiful shot. I think cover got a piece of it, but it does not make any difference. It's the second boundary. And Joseph has come out here with the mindset that she's going to play her shots.
You'd say throwing the kitchen sink at it, but that was a beautiful shot, reaching out. Of course, a free hit, making the most of it. What a flourish. Beautiful footwork, reaching, leaning. That sweeper cover didn't have a chance.
So Joseph making the most of the free hits, getting her second boundary. She goes to 8. West Indies 13 for 1 as Tadani tries to tidy up this over. Dot ball for dot. Then a no ball and another boundary. That's a lot better line and perfect length.
And a good quick single as well to finish that over.
So because of the no ball, Tadani's going to have to bowl a 7th delivery. West Indies 13 for 1, a welcomed high scoring over for the West Indies team.
You were just talking about, Ryan, accelerating a bit more in the power play, and this over has helped West Indies.
It's amazing in the short format of the game how quickly the game can change
One
from one
ball.
ball to another. Yep.
One ball can do it.
Tadani, Samaru. Samaru pushes and the short extra covers there. And looks like we have one more delivery left in this over. Samaru, 10 deliveries, not off the mark as yet, and Tadani starting to regain her line and length. And it's played through just short of mid-off, and it beats mid-off. Could be the 3rd boundary of the over. It is. Samaru off the mark. It was an awkward bounce for the mid-off fielder rather. And the West Indies get their 3rd boundary, 13 in the over, and they recover after 4 overs. It's 18 for 1.
The extra cover fielder was quite close on that occasion, and Samaru making the most of that, going over and through that field. Chetna Prasad at mid-off not able to get to the ball in time and cut it off. Samaru off the mark after 10 deliveries, but in style.
So Janaba Joseph, very much a stroke player. We saw Sau and Samaru, two conservative openers, and now the middle order batter, Joseph, outside of stump and flashes. So Paul bowling her 3rd over on the trot, Shabani.
A beautiful shot again, the last ball of the previous over. Samaru getting off the mark. Good positioning of her feet, moving across the stumps to get into a good position.
Paul, beautiful delivery again, full, just outside of stump.
Doesn't matter what's happening on the other end. Paul is just pegging away at that line and length, making it difficult for the batter.
Any surprises? Kodali had a bowl 3 overs in a row.
When a bowler is bowling as well as Snigdha Paul is today, especially after that maiden over, and they're not able to get her away, no surprises at all for me.
Again, just outside of stump, full outside of stump. And Joseph wants to replicate that cover drive that she had. It was so beautifully played just moments ago.
Yeah, we see that she's getting into good positions. Unfortunately, of course, for her, this one, she missed, not getting close enough. Snigdha Paul, that one not angling in as much as the others.
Paul to Joseph. This one a little bit shorter. Again in that corridor of uncertainty and a misfield. And they're going to pick up a single. Hits the stumps. Have to believe Joseph was well into a crease by then. Half-hearted appeal.
But coming back to that beautiful free hit cover drive, we're seeing the replay of that. Oftentimes on a free hit, a batter tries to overhit the ball and loses their shape, and then it doesn't result in a run. It becomes a dot ball or a single. On this occasion, though, in the previous over, you can see that it was a beautiful shot. She maintained her shape, and you had the result as well. The ball went for a boundary.
Paul, Samaru, again, good line, good length. Samaru trying to get it, and she gets it just past that short extra cover. Picks up that single. The short extra cover is almost like a shadow, just trying to stop that single. It's so important to have that coverage to go left and right, but as soon as you beat that short extra cover, the run is on.
Yes, mid-wicket and extra cover, especially since there is no mid-off. The fielder has gone to the boundary to long off. Then, of course, as soon as the ball passes that extra cover fielder, it is an easy single.
So the one fielder on the boundary is a deep cover. This one's down the leg side, and umpire decides that is a wide. There is no forgiveness in the T20 format as long as that ball goes down the leg side. No contact equals a wide.
We've seen that Janaba Joseph has been very good through the offside. She hit a beautiful cover drive, and she's been looking for that shot as well. And that's why we have a sweeper cover and a long off. And Snigdha Paul is trying to bowl tight lines, resulting in that wide.
Joseph comes back down the leg side, half-hearted appeal. But like we talked about, Paul has that tendency to angle the ball into the right-hander. Going to be hard to get the LBW drifting down. So that'll be the end of the 5th over. Just 1 over left in the power play. Shivani, 5 overs gone. Your thoughts? Just sort of summarize the play.
Well, of course, USA drew first blood with that 1 wicket, but that over of Suhani Tadani really brought West Indies back into this power play. 21 runs for just 1 wicket after 5 overs. It's a good start. It's a solid start.
So
and they'll look to build from here.
Tadani, after giving up 13 runs in the last over, her last over, comes back to from the commentary end to Samaru. And Samaru drives. Mid-off is there. Well hit, well fielded. You know, I want to talk a little bit big picture here. We have this fantastic stage. We have this moment. USA cricket, they are constantly evolving in the early stages. We have West Indies cricket trying to reevaluate the structure. Who do you think, between the two teams, can sort of blossom and get the most out of this series?
A beautiful shot there again by Samaru. Can Chetna Prasad get there? Oh, beautiful, beautiful shot there. Unfortunately, Chetna Prasad wasn't able to make it. That ball teasing her all the way to the boundary.
Well, we're talking about stroke playing. That was majestic. Pitched up, beautiful shot through mid-off. Short extra cover couldn't get there, which means mid-off was always going to be in trouble.
Mid-off had moved a little wider, still wasn't able to get there, piercing that gap.
So
perfectly.
Samaru, second boundary in successive overs, starting to cut loose. She was 10 deliveries, no runs. Now 15 deliveries, 9 runs. Starting to pick up, starting to get stuck in, as they would say. Can Tadani adjust her line? And she did beautifully. So, big picture, out of this series, USA continuing to grow, continuing to blossom. West Indies trying to reevaluate who can get the most out of this series and why.
I think both teams will get a lot out of this series. Of course, we had the Rising Stars tournament earlier in the West Indies where the nations played as separate teams. Of course, on the international stage, they play as one team, the West Indies. So this is their under-19 national team coming together, preparing for January, where in South Africa, the under-19 World Cup is happening. As we spoke about earlier, both of these teams have already qualified.
Tadani to Samaru, who's starting to feel that feeling. Drives again, mid-off. Feels, and they get the single. So another single. Scored 26 for 1. Last delivery of the power play. So you think it's Tadani straying with her line and length, or you think it's Samaru starting to settle in?
Samaru taking a liking to Tadani, looks like. Comfortable with that angle as well. But Samaru taking her time to get in, and after that we've seen some scintillating drives off her bat. And that happens, even if you have a slow start. As we said, there's steady openers. It's what's important is what you finish on.
Tadani to Joseph. It's a full toss. Driven to mid-on. They go for 1. Get to it. Hit the stumps. Again, another half-hearted appeal as Joseph seemed to have made a ground. They're not going to review it. Not out. So after 6 overs, the power play is over. It is 26 for 1. Take a look at the West Indies starting 11. Shabani, what do you see stands out? What sort of players do you look for to influence this game?
Well, Samaru, the vice captain, of course, we've seen beautiful shots from her so far, but Janaba Joseph really stands out. She was the leading run scorer in the Rising Stars tournament that concluded recently. Zeta James also, she was part of the West Indies, she was a traveling reserve for the West Indies senior team, so very impressive. But plenty of talent, and looking forward to watching all of these players show us what they can do.
Well, we have one of those star players in the wicket right now. She's 10 from 11 deliveries. As we look at the USA lineup, all right, we know what the captain can do, Gitika
Yes.
Kodali.
Yes.
Anybody else that sticks out that you're excited to see today?
I'm looking forward to watching Chetna Prasad bat. She's a very exciting top order bat, explosive at the top.
Oh, and this one comes right back in, and Paul bowling her 4th over on the trot.
And we've already seen how well Paul has been bowling, especially today. She was the player of the tournament in the recently concluded national championships. And we have 8 players in this under-19 squad that have represented the senior USA team. So plenty of talent, plenty of potential, exciting.
Paul again, the one comes in off the pitch and off cutter to the right-hander. Joseph plays it well. So Gitika Kodali, my mistake, coming in on her very first over. The captain stamping her mark with a tight line, tight length, just like Paul, bringing the ball back into the right-hander.
Kodali a bit quicker than the other bowlers, hits the hard length, likes to hit the deck as well, can get the ball up towards the shoulder, chest, shoulder region if needed.
Wicketkeeper Kulan doing some gardening. This one's driven through the offside. Short extra cover is there though, well fielded.
The importance of that extra cover fielder, you see it.
Not only to shadow those singles, but boy, it came at her like a gun, like a bullet out of a gun, well fielded.
Snigdha Paul there at extra cover. Again, that's the confidence. Your bowling confidence goes into your fielding, that goes into your batting.
This one's driven through the offside again. They have some protection out there, that deep cover, just the one. You know, bowling to your field, even though they get it out of the circle, nagging delivery just outside off stump, is only so much Joseph can do with it.
Absolutely. You have that sweeper cover, and she's looking for that cover drive. She tried to go for the boundary option to go forward of that sweeper cover, but extra cover was there, stopping that. So the next ball, you take a single, see what Samaru can do.
Kodali, perfect line, perfect length, just in that corridor of uncertainty. Just one delivery left in this 7th over. West Indies 28 for 1. The run out by Sao. It was a no ball, hit to backward square. She was caught, didn't count because it was a no ball. But they decided to go for this single. She was run out, 28 for 1. This one's driven through the offside. Bit of a misfield, comfortable single. And that'll be the end of the 7th over, 29 for 1 after 7.
The running between the wickets has been quite good by these two, Janaba Joseph and Samaru. Especially with the right-left combination, it makes it difficult for the fielders to be in the right places at the right angles, but also for the bowler to keep adjusting their lines and lengths. And the running between the wickets has been good. They've taken some very quick singles, hustling the fielders, you can cause a misfield to happen or a fumble to happen just by putting pressure on the fielders by taking that quick single. And we've seen that happen on a few occasions so far.
So the running has been aggressive at the cost of a wicket. And we have a change of bowling. Looks to be a spinner from the commentary end in Broward County Stadium. When we say commentary end, that means that bowler is coming up a slight hill. And if they come from the northern end, which is the opposite end, they're coming down the hill. So we have Badriaju, number 29. Shabani, what sort of spinner are we looking at here?
She's an off spinner, likes to toss the ball up, gets a bit of turn.
This one goes
There we
away
go.
from the left hand up, just punch past short extra cover. They're going to get that single.
She was the leading wicket taker in the national championships, scalping 6. Has been impressive this year and last year.
So the middle overs of a T20, your spinners come on to try to work that magic and slow things down.
You have that option of having 4 fielders out, which gives the spinner that cushion.
And talk about protection. We have a deep mid-wicket. We have a deep cover. So we have protection square of the wicket. Looks like Kodali is going to have a long off. That seems to be the 3 players outside of the circle, the rest protecting the 1. Badriaju tosses it up outside off stump. Joseph thinks about using her feet, hesitates, gets back in.
In 2 minds there, looks to come out, stepping out and going back. The ball a little shorter than she may have expected. Badri Raju likes to tease the batters.
Lovely flight, lovely arc by Badriaju. Enough to get Joseph out of a crease, down the track. Tell you what, if she can place the ball on that length, as we see the adjustment, Kodali, the captain, sends out a long on. Joseph down the wicket and slugs it, and the long on is there. Beautiful bit of captaincy. Now, Shabani, was that high enough for a no ball, or was that good enough for a proper delivery?
It dipped enough for it to be a legal delivery. So, also because Janaba came out of her crease, so then even if it was high, it would not be considered a no ball. The no ball is determined where the batter is standing at the crease, if the ball is above waist high, when the ball would have passed the batter at the crease.
Again, this one's flighted beautifully, and it dips perfectly just before the left-handed Samaru.
Samara looking to use her feet, yorking herself almost, getting too close to that delivery.
Last ball of the 8th. Badriaju, just one, not too much flight, a little flatter. And that'll be the end of 8 overs. West Indies are 31 for 1. Samaru 12, Joseph 13. And we'll see if the captain, Geetika Kodali, comes back from that northern end, and it seems like she is.
The bowling has been tight so far. After 8 overs, 31 runs, that's what you'd expect after about 6 overs. You'd want to be going at 5 to 6 runs and over. So the current run rate less than 4. USA looking good here. We must remember that West Indies has only lost 1 wicket. So they can start accelerating at any time.
The foundation is being set. Joseph punches it. Well fielded by Kodali. So you just came back from the Nationals a week ago. What was the experience like out in Texas? What was the environment, the surroundings, the stage?
We got to play at Musa Stadium. There had been a lot of cricket there. Of course, the ground is beautiful.
Outside our stump flashed, no contact. And Joseph is going to kick herself a little bit for letting that loose delivery get away.
Yes, a big gap there between point and almost a short third. Had that pierced that gap, could have raced away to the boundary. But coming back to our regionals and nationals, so much talent, young players, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and experienced players as well. 4 regions coming together. And then, of course, we had the East-West showdown.
Kodali down the hill, outside of stump, but this time Joseph gets a piece of it. But fantastic bit of fielding. Looks like it was Dingra.
great fielding and great field position as well. That fielder was just a bit finer, the previous delivery being pushed wider, and that ball going straight to that fielder. Good thinking there.
Katika Kodali. This one's closer, up just above middle stump, clipped away off the pads. Joseph gets the one. So USA Cricket is blossoming. Anything that you can think of that they can do extra, more cricket, cricket's televised broadcast. What do you think how can USA Cricket continue to evolve going forward?
Well, it's been good. Our regionals, nationals, now this, of course, being streamed on YouTube, on Willow. So it's visibility for players, whether it's men, women, youth, girls. So that visibility that, yes, we have cricket in the U.S. and the standard is good. There are a lot of players. There are over 100 players. In the regionals, you have 4 teams, each team 14 players. So, and leading into that, you have 12 intra-regional teams. So just the number of players, a few years ago, myself even included, playing for the U.S.
Oh, this one is played onto her pad, inside edge. And Kodali, that's the last ball of the 10th over. 9th over, I believe, 33 for 1.
Just 2 runs off that over. But coming back to USA Cricket, so much has happened over these past years. A lot of youngsters coming through, some 13-year-olds even playing in the intra-regionals and regionals. So much talent, so much potential, and competition is increasing as well, which is good to see. The level of cricket is better, more exciting, more matches. And you rightly mentioned more matches. Also, that's something that can help. More matches at an international level like this tournament, this series is very, very helpful.
Radriaju back again from the commentary end. Samaru drives, no run. Minor league cricket. It is picked up and is launched from last summer to this summer. This is the home of the Fort Lauderdale Lions, right here in Fort Lauderdale. Women's cricket, how close are we to... This one's tossed up, driven to mid-on, long on. An easy single for Samaru. How long do we have for a consistent sort of series or league for women's cricket like that?
Well, if you look at the domestic structure right now, it's a 3-tier structure. And if you look at inter-regionals, we already have 12 teams. We have quite a large number of players already taking up the game across the United States, East Coast, West Coast, Texas, Chicago. You have players from all over. And even if we don't have 20 teams or as many teams as the men's minor league, gets that through that square leg region. Deep mid-wicket coming around, beautifully played by Janaba Joseph. Pushing back onto the back foot, pulling that ball.
Oh, we've seen Badriaju use a beautiful flight and arc. That one's just a little bit shorter. And Joseph did not hesitate. Always looking to score, Joseph. Such an exciting player. 16 off of 25. This one's tossed up, and she uses the feet beautifully and punches it through mid-off. May not get a boundary, but the technique was fantastic.
Looking good. We saw already when she first walked in, we saw some scintillating cover drives, and now she's using her feet too, Badri Raju, getting to the pitch of the ball, sometimes taking it on the full. It's been very, very pleasant to watch. But coming back to minor league and women's league, a fewer number of teams will make it very competitive, but definitely you have it.
Shorter delivery again by Badriani. This time it was Samaru getting it on the act. Gets 2. West Indies starting to tick things over now. 39 for 1.
You have the talent, you have the potential. More intense camps and games high intensity, high performance. It's there. Just need to tap into that potential. Opportunities.
Badriani, last delivery. And it's a beauty of a delivery as a appeal for stumping. And that's it. Badriani with the breakthrough. Badriaju rather. Completely comfuffling Samaru. Beautifully flighted delivery. Invited her into the shot. And the bounce, the spin just left her. Shabani.
A spinner's dream, that one. Tossed it up. Pulling the batter out of the crease. Ball turning, doing its bit. Kolan finishing that dismissal with quick hands.
So we see West Indies finally starting to settle down, get some runs going. Badriaju, a huge wicket. And now that's his second wicket that falls, 39 for 2. Samaru, who's now starting to get stuck in, as we would say, 16 off of 28. Shitty parts. Brilliant bit of stumping behind the wicket. And of course, the bowling as well to go along with it. It was Kolan, Anika Kolan, the wicketkeeper. Round of applause. So the new batter, yet to be finalized. It's number 55, James. Zaida James coming in.
Again, we've seen Zaida. She was a traveling reserve on the West Indies senior team. Exciting player, all-rounder. And Tia Gonzalez comes back into the attack from the other end this time.
So, change of bowling.
Pardon, it was Saitan Ayuni coming into the attack.
So, Gitika Kodali bowled 2 fantastic overs from the northern end. Now she's taken herself off for Ioane, a wrist spinner. So we have the finger spinner, Badriaju, which is a majestic delivery to get Samaru out the ball before. And now the wrist spinner, Ioane, coming in from the northern end, down the hill, as you would say, in this ground. Bowling to Joseph, 17 off 26. Oh, it's a beautiful delivery. You cannot get anything better from a wrist spinner than that, especially for a first delivery.
Great start for Ayuni.
I mean, if that's going to be her spell, Shivnarayan Chandrapal is salivating right now. Again, beautiful, right in that corridor of uncertainty. She gets it away, just the one. And for a wrist spinner, you will live with that every single day.
The trajectory, the dip, the turn, and on this occasion, the bounce as well, getting up there almost above the batter's waist. You see that with the wrist spinners, whether right arm or left arm, they're able to extract a little bit more bounce.
And because of the wrist, and it's so hard to execute every single time, you're going to get a loose ball with a wrist spinner, but boy, the payoff when it actually does pitch is fantastic. Ioane. This one's lofted, it dips, driven to cover. The protection is there, get one. So the left-handed James is off the mark. And now the right-handed Joseph will continue. So a deep cover, a deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square for the protection for Ioane. Again, just short of a length.
Worked away nicely there by Janaba Joseph.
Skipper picks it up, and she'll be very content just giving up that single.
The right-left combination, of course, takes a little bit more time for the fielding side to get their fields, especially when you are allowed 4 fielders outside and you're using all those fielders. You want to send.
This one's tossed up. Oh, and it's the googly. Beautifully bowled by Ioane.
Plenty of bounce on that occasion.
The googly on this side of the world and the wrong on. Down under. Beautifully executed. James had no idea if it was coming or going. Again, the other googly this time a little too far out. Wide call by the umpire. As a captain, do you mind that? Do you mind the variation, trying the googly?
Not at all. At this stage of the game, she executed the googly well the previous ball. This one just going a bit wider, resulting in a wide delivery.
That is a beautiful cover drive. Picturesque, as they would say, and they're going to come back for two. They miss field. And James and Joseph, always quick between the wickets, come back for an easy two. So at the end of 11 overs, it is 45 for 2 in Broward County Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So Shivani, Badriaju gets a wicket with her last delivery. Skipper walks right back, hands the ball back to her and says, carry on. At this point, how far do you let her go? Do you let her bowl her spell out, or do you hold her for the maybe hold her last over for the death overs?
Well, it's going well for her, and the scoring rate is also under check. Keep her on, especially in the middle overs. As you said earlier, it is for the spinners, and as long as she's bowling well and the batters are struggling.
Joseph pulls down to mid-wicket. We talk about protection. Square of the boundary, so you have a deep cover, deep mid-wicket for those shorter deliveries. But we see the change of line, we see the change of length by Badriaju. Don't get too comfortable. She can toss it up or she can hold it back.
Absolutely. When I say struggling, not so much in the way of getting out, but more so in what it could be getting out, but also keeping those runs tight, then just keep her on.
Oh, and this one gets a leading edge. Again, it's that arc, that flight, luring the batsman, and she's getting enough turn to really ask some questions out there.
Especially to the left-hander, the ball turning away, challenging them.
This one's a thick edge, and she's out. Just like that, Badriaju breaks through again. Another flighted delivery, not executed drive by James, and she goes for 3. West Indies now 46 for 3, 11.2.
Straight to Kodali at extra cover, tossed up, and was delivered to the captain at extra cover. Easily taken. Thank you very much, says Kodali.
Well, Badriaju executes again. She seems to be finding that line and length. And one of the stars and the captain just steps in. It is Ashmini Munisar. She won the toss. Has a little bit of luck on her side so far today. So the skipper comes in 46 for 3. Coming into that number 5 spot. And she's going to be going up against a well-settled in off-spinner by the name of Bhumika Badriaju, who has now 2 wickets in her last 7 deliveries.
She's been brave to toss that ball up. That's also the confidence a captain gives their bowler. Toss it up, look for those wickets. Bhumika is a wicket-taking bowler. To have that confidence to use her flight and turn, extracting plenty of turn on this wicket, getting the results here.
Badriaju to Munisa. First delivery for the skipper. Beautifully bowled.
Watchful there by Munisar.
I tell you what, you can put whoever you want out there. If she's going to pitch that line and that length, it's going to be the same result. The batter coming out hesitantly. This one's wide outside our stump, driven through the covers. Protection, just one. But the captain's off the mark. And we have 1 delivery left in the 12th.
It's been a good battle between bat and ball. You've seen that the West Indies players have used their feet to Badri Raju. And we see as Janaba Joseph comes to face mid-off and mid-on, going to long off and long on.
This one's tossed up. Down the ground she comes. And an expert bit of captaincy by Kodali. Pushing out the long on, the long off. And that will be the end of 12 overs. 47 for 3. Badriaju doing the business. Getting the wicket of James for 3. As the USA start to get their footing back into the game.
Coming back to the good battle between bat and ball. So the West Indies batters have used their feet to counter the flight and the trajectory of Badri Raju's bowling. But that hasn't deterred Badri Raju from tossing it up as well. So that's been really good. She's backed herself to flight those deliveries.
Well, here comes the wrist spin, a little bit shorter, and Joseph could not make the most of a shorter delivery by Iuni. Bravery. That is the word. I mean, as a spinner, you have to have some bravery. They can score a lot of you, but if you want to get wickets, that's how you're going to get it. Beautiful arc again by the wrist spinner.
We can see when Ayuni tosses it up, she's extracting so much bounce. Anika Kolan, the wicket keeper, having to get up onto her toes to collect that.
This one's pitched on middle and leg. Bit of an adjustment. She was pitched off or outside off the first 2 deliveries. In this historic first ever match between USA and West Indies in any format. Women's U19, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Down the track, Joseph comes, a half-hearted appeal. Maybe a bit of an inside edge. But right now, Iuni is spinning a web.
It's been good. We've seen Badri Raju from the other side, but here Ayuni turns the ball the other way. We've also seen her bowl some googlies.
This one's tossed up. Joseph gets to the pitch. He's going to get just the 1.
We were talking about this in Ayuni's previous over about her bowling googlies. Is it a good time to try out that variation or bowl that variation? Even if bowling that variation goes wrong or you bowl a wide, it's in the batter's mind that, oh, she can bowl a googly. She does have this variation.
Beautifully flighted. Again, just rhythmic by Uni. So many times you see a wrist spinner struggle for line and length. She's been pitching the ball consistently. And that takes us to the end of 13 overs. It is hurrying along here. 50 for 3 after 13.
When a bowler has those variations and they're bowling them in the middle in a game, then the batter is always guessing and they have to be in the zone. They have to concentrate a little more, watch the hand of the bowler to see if that variation is coming out. Puts some doubt into the batter's minds.
Well, you're hearing it here. My co-commentator, Shabani Bhaskar. My name is Ryan Davis. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you guys live on YouTube. Historic event. West Indies Women's U19 visiting United States of America. Their Women's U19 right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. First match of 5 T20s. Badriaju, her last over. Flatter delivery, they get 1. So we call the middle overs belonging to these spinners. Badriaju not only tying the batters down, but getting the all-important wickets. Getting James just a while ago with a leading edge. And then a stumping of Samaru. Just fantastic stuff by the finger spinner. But the star so far of the West Indies has been Joseph. 22 of 36. Down the wicket she comes. Drives. Oh, a bit of hesitation. There was a misfield, but short extra cover. Konali, the captain, taking care of business.
Well, she used her feet, came down the track, and hit it on the full. And when you hit it on the full, there's no turn whether it's going into the stumps or away.
Joseph trying to rock back and try to penetrate this offside field, but the length is superb by Badriaju. 2 for 12 with 3 balls left in her spell. So a short one, it's a long hop. Joseph can't get all of it. Gets the bottom part of the bat, gets one.
We see again Munisar just coming in to bat, and the long on fielders have gone into the circle looking to cut off that single as soon as Janaba Joseph is off strike, putting pressure.
Here's the skipper. This one's a loose one. Gets some of it. It drops just short of square leg. And they get the single. It was a full toss, and the captain stares into the clouds, wanting that one back.
It was a full toss, but it was slow. It took a long time to get to the batter. And when that happens, it's sometimes more difficult to time the ball because you have to swing at the right time, exactly when the ball is in your hitting arc.
Just throwing off the timing of the batters. Joseph, last delivery, Badriaju of her spell. Down the track she comes, goes over the top. Long off is there. Drops short. Gets a long single and a fantastic spell by Badriaju. 4 overs, 2 for 14. And the end of 14 overs, it is 54th for 3. Now, Shabani, what are we looking for? What do you think Gatika Kodari has up her sleeve? Bring herself back on, bring a medium pacer back on.
Well, she still has a uni from the other end that could keep going, and looks like she will. Suhani Tadani hasn't had the best of days, but she has bowled well in the depth for the U.S. and for the Western Conference, the team she plays for in the Nationals. Disha Dhingra can also bowl. We've seen her bowl in the Rising Stars tournament. She has a couple of options, so it'll be exciting to see what she's going to do. Also, Snigdha Paul.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this whole Rising tournament thing,
Yes.
the United States went down and literally cleaned the house. 5 wins, 1 game abandoned, 100% record. It just signifies what cricket is like in the USA right now. Another long single.
And it's pretty much the same team that went down to the West Indies for that tournament. Only one change, Jivana Aras missing out. And Aditi Chudasama coming in, not playing today.
Oh, it's a leg side stumping appeal. Wide delivery call, but you can be stumped on a wide. Still
Batter.
not out. Looks like Munisar got back into her crease before the stumping. Was drawn into the shot with the delivery and the drift. Here's that replay.
Good work behind the stumps by Kolan. Oh, good splits. Flexibility there. Not easy to do.
Shabani, if I did a split like that now, you'd be peeling me off the ground for the next 10 minutes. There's no chance. You'll have to get another batter.
Also good to see the pants held up. Happens too often.
Ioni again, full, the wrist spinner finally showing some kinks in the armor. Not pitching. But Munisa just not settled in as yet. Can't make the most of the full toss. But let's see if Ioni can tidy up her deliveries against this batter. Joseph, 25 of 41. Down the track, and she does tidy up delivery. Beautifully bowled.
That single on offer for Janaba Joseph. She's been batting beautifully, and therefore long off, long on. In position, that single always on offer.
And you don't mind that. As a captain, you're going to take that long single any day of the week. Just stop the boundaries, stop the twos.
Especially in a T20.
Ioni, outside off stump is cut away, but the fly slip is there.
Upish there. One bounce to the fielder on the circle.
So many runs to be had behind the wicket. And the ball comes so quickly as the batters use the pace of the ball. Ioni. This one's full and driven. And it's going to be a no ball. And Munisa has an opportunity to step out of her comfort zone and really unleash the shackles and go after one hit.
It's a good opportunity. Just over 5 overs left in this innings. If Munisar can get going with this one.
As a full toss drift on it, Joseph has to get out of the way. Long single. And that's a win for the bowler.
It is just a single off a free hit. Always a win for the bowler. Munisar trying to make the most of it, using her feet, losing her shape. I think that is key here. We saw earlier in the innings, Janaba Joseph holding her shape on a free hit, getting a boundary for that. Happens too often, especially in women's cricket. A free hit, your eyes light up, you know it's a free hit, you want to go for it. You try to hit the ball too hard and end up missing
So
out.
you go for the slog rather than the cricketing shot.
Even if it's a slog, you're losing your shape, you're not timing the ball.
Yeah.
As long as you time the ball is going to fly.
So 15 overs gone, only 5 more remaining. Historic first match between the United States of America Women's U19 against the traveling Cricket West Indies U19 Women's. West Indies 61 for 3, lost the early wicket of Sau, caught off of a no ball, but the batters decided to run. There was a run out instead. West Indies lost that wicket in the second over. Then wickets fell with James and then Samaru then James rather. And now we're left with the captain Munisar, 6 of 9. Joseph has been the cog in the middle order, 27 of 43. We have a change of bowling. Ritu Singh, wrist spinner, trying to do her best impersonation of Badriaju, who bowled 4 overs, 2 for 14. Singh with the hat on, I love it. And the first delivery and is bowled. Beautiful delivery by Singh. Joseph, her eyes lit up. The ball dipped. And it was good night. Good fight.
What a way to start off your over. And your spell, Ritu Singh, right on the money. Losing her shape there, but right on target.
You know, it turned into a Yorker. It flighted beautifully and it just almost held back and dipped. Lovely drift. And no better way to start a spell than to bowl the leading batter, middle stump, who's 27 at that time, unbeaten, as your first delivery. Well, Singh does better than Badriaju. She gets a wicket with her very first delivery. 27 of 44. Back to the pavilion goes Joseph. West Indies in a bit of an awkward position now. 61 for 4 as Cumberbatch makes her way to the crease. Well, Shabani, here's that delivery again.
Yes. Ritu Singh can be difficult to play because she has a run-up of a pacer and then she bowls spin, especially for her first ball. If you haven't seen her before or you don't know how she bowls, you're expecting her to bowl pace because she's running up. She has quite a few steps in her run-up, and it's, for example, Badri Raju, you can see that she's a spinner the way her run-up is, but she runs up like a medium pacer, and then she's bowling spin. You expect the ball to be quicker because she's running up.
She's a spinner with a long run.
But she's a very smart bowler as well. She can dart them in or flight them.
Rajit Singh, all arms, comes out to the off stump and driven away by Cumberbatch off the mark immediately. And that's not a bad thing being all arms. We see some fantastic bowlers in our time. Most noticeably, Bumrah from India. He's all arms coming up to the wicket, and talk about a strike rate. It's scary. So Singh, a bit of a dip, gives up a run on her second delivery. Again, beautifully flighted, just on or outside off stump. And with the turn, the right-hander can't do much with it.
I was talking to Ritu Singh during the national championships, and I was asking her, you have a longer run-up, but you bowl spin. How did that come to be? And she was telling me, beautifully bowled there again. no fielder at square leg, so easy single. But Ritu Singh was telling me that she plays a lot of her cricket with boys or men, and if she bowls slower, then she gets hit quite easily. So she started having a longer run up to bowl faster through the air.
And you can see it again, the momentum she gets really gets a little bit of extra zip on the ball to get to the batter. But we can see, like her first delivery, she can hold one back.
Also, the difference between Badri Raju and Ritu Singh, yes, both of them are finger spinners, off spinners, bringing the ball back into the batter.
You can see the bounce, you can see the turn the spinners are getting. And by the way, these women are playing under lights at the Broward County Stadium, the same ground where West Indies and India just finished playing a 2-match T20, wrapped up at their five-match series T20. They played the last 2 matches on this ground. And I remind everyone, 16 overs gone, 64 for 4. But they're playing on this beautiful international strip in Broward County, Fort Lauderdale. Historic series between West Indies and the USA. And Cricket West Indies and USA Cricket have combined. They worked together to get the West Indies to play India here yesterday and have followed through and have the women play this 5-match series starting tonight in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, West Indies cricket and USA cricket working hand in hand, developing cricket in the region.
Cumberbatch is back and gets a educated edge, as they would say. They think about 2. Cumberbatch won't come back. Beautifully fielded in the end. That was Prasad right over the bills, as they would say.
Playing that with soft hands, as you said, so many runs on offer behind square, whether on the offside or the leg side. Usually there is no fielder behind the keeper, especially when a spinner is bowling, the keeper is standing up. If you get even an edge on that.
The leg spinner beautifully flighted again. The edge not educated. And every so often, Iyuni bowls one of these peaches where the batter doesn't have a clue what's going on.
But the batters have also been good not to mess with that delivery.
Again, this one just a little too far outside off stump. And I'm splitting hairs here because the length is fantastic. This one shorter. That's going to be a no ball. So, free hit. Cumberbatch. Will she open her shoulders up? Or, as Shabani reminded us on more than one occasion, keep her shape and try to score runs using technique. Down the track, she gets all of it. But the leg spinner is well protected at long on and long off.
Of course, on a free hit, you want to back yourself, pick that gap. It's almost a predetermined shot.
Oh, and gets that leading edge.
Nicely taken there by Point. Disha Dhingra there. Running back, not easy. Keeping her eyes on it, making the ground, making it look much, much easier than that catch usually is.
Well, the spinner makes the breakthrough again. Iyuni, again, beautifully flighted delivery, leading edge. And Dhingra had to go back and take a beautiful catch over her shoulder. The hardest catch in cricket to take is the one coming over your shoulder. She made it look easy.
Absolutely. Iyuni drawing the batter out. Just enough turn to get that leading edge towards Point. Disha Dhingra quick to react, turning to the right side, making her ground. Again, making it look easy when those catches so often are not, because the ball is also spinning.
Well, at 68 for 5, one delivery left in the 17th. USA well on top. The wicket is extracting a lot of bounce, a lot of turn. Fantastic score would have been between 115, 125. But we see the USA may hold the West Indies under 100 here tonight. As the spinners doing the business. Iyuni getting a wicket. Her last delivery now of her 4-over spell. 19 for 1. Oh, she's gone after this one. Dropped in the long on. They come back for 2. So immediately off the mark, Asabi Calendar goes after it, opens up her shoulders, gets away with it, and the end of a fantastic spell by Uni. 4 overs, 1 for 21. It is 69 for 5 after 17.
A great effort there by Lisa Ramjit. Not able to hold on to that one. But excellently bowled by Ayuni. Ritu Singh continuing. Took a wicket off her first ball. Can she do it again in this over?
I tell you what, the way she has bowled her first 6 deliveries, I'm not going to bet against it. Calendar. Kamabach. Need to get things moving along. 3 overs left. Singh. Back over the top it comes.
The bowler getting under it. Ritu Singh. First ball again.
Okay, so you called it. Somehow she did it again. She tossed this one up. Batter trying to get a move on, and it looks like it's Kamabach. Right down the throat of long off. And the West Indies, wickets are tumbling. Here it is again.
She looked to be going a bit leg side and couldn't get a good shot on that one. Going straight up, high in the air, Ritu Singh getting under it. A good caught and bowled.
Well, I was looking at long off, you're right. It went straight up in the air. Quarter bowl chance for Singh. Takes a catch, and West Indies are now 69 for 6 as the United States start to get a strong foothold in this first match between the West Indies and the USA in Broward County Stadium. Now, Samara Ramnath comes to the crease. The batters did not get a chance to cross when the ball was in the air, and Ritu Singh, it's a bit of magic. 1.1 overs, 3 runs, 2 wickets. And now she's down into the tail end. Singh to Ramnath. This one shorter delivery, hits the thigh pad.
Again, you see that bounce, plenty of bounce. You put revolutions on the ball, you're going to extract that bounce. Leg spinner, off spinner, doesn't matter.
Well, Gatika, the captain for the USA, said if she won the toss, which she did not, she would have bowled first. Singh, beautiful delivery, beats the keeper. It beat everyone, Shivani.
That's the kind of ball it was. Splitting the bat and pad. And then the keeper on the inside. Just missing the stump, actually.
Well, they can't fault Anika Kolan. The ball has been spinning and bouncing. Very hard for wicketkeepers being so close up to the stumps.
She's been brilliant behind the stumps, especially as you said. With
This
that extra bit of bounce.
Proper technique. Still hits the underneath of the bat, the bottom part of the bat, just the one. And the stranglehold getting a little bit tighter. 71 for 6. 13 deliveries. West Indies will do well just to get to 100. Ramnath goes to the onside. Right into the gap.
Pushing
Deep mid wicket
for
comes
2.
across. Gets 1. Have to say that was well placed, Shabani.
It was. Looked like they were pushing for 2 as well, but good work on the boundary there. Getting the ball in quickly by Chetna Prasad. You mentioned 100.
Oh, beautifully bowled by Singh again. Tantalizing.
Definitely would be a fighting score, especially on this pitch. You see that turn and bounce. West Indies under 19 have plenty of spinners in their lineup as well, so it could be a very interesting game, and I'm really looking forward to how it pans out.
Well, with only 12 deliveries left in this inning, the West Indies are 72 for 6. The United States really putting their mark on this first game of a historic 5-match T20 series between USA Cricket and Cricket West Indies.
Something that really stands out about this series for me, when I looked at the schedule, we have 2 night games or evening games under lights and then 3 morning games. As women cricketers, we don't get to play a lot of games under lights. I've been playing competitive cricket for 16 years and I've played less than 5 games under lights. So this is a great opportunity because playing under lights is quite different.
Mr. Chandapol, I think Shabani's ready to get in. Captain back on, Gitika Konali. So under lights, the 5 games you played, did that affect you more in the field or when you're out in the wicket batting?
Both actually. In the field, of course, if you have dew and things like that, the way the ball travels along the ground, when you catch it, when the ball has dew on it, it's harder to catch because it's like a wet ball. But the wicket also plays differently. The pitch plays differently. The ball can skid when there's that dew that sets in the evenings under lights. And also if you're fielding and you're taking a catch and the ball goes high, the lights come into play. And that's just something we don't practice much because we don't play under lights that much.
Understood. Kodali. This one beautifully bowled just outside off stump. Had to have been just a mere inches away.
The channel again, line and length, back of a length. How did that miss?
The corridor of uncertainty. The bails were shivering as that ball went by. So we're into the death overs. This one's short outside off stump. Can't get a hold of it and a wide called. Gitika not impressed with herself, going back to her mark. West Indies 72 for 6.
Kodali has been impressive this evening. Her first 2 overs just going for 4 runs. Keeping it in that area. Beautifully stroked there through the cover region for a single. Being the death overs. Looking to come back for 2. Pushing that. But that fielder got to the ball quickly.
So Ramnath, like you said, kept her shape. Beautiful cover drive. Gets the 1. And now Calendar, we've seen Calendar have the ability to open her shoulders a little bit, get a little extra power. If Kodali pitches one up, let's see how far she can go with it. This one short of her length. Beautiful adjustment by the captain. Not pitching up. She has protection, a long off, deep cover, a long on. Third man. Not too much on the onside. Kodali, Calendar. Again, short of a length, not pitching up to Calendar. Did her homework, which I never ever did in my life, but she obviously did.
They've planned well and execution has been really good as well overall in this bowling innings. As you said, doing their homework. Doing the homework is one thing, but being able to execute your plans.
Driven away by Calendar. Beautiful shot, but short extra cover is there, no run. And that is the end of 19 overs. 74 for 6. So we're in the very last over of this first innings in this historic 5-match series between the United States and the West Indies. USA losing the toss. West Indies deciding to bat first. 74 for 6. Singh bowling the last over of the 20 overs, and it's a long single by Ramnath. Do not adjust your screen. Singh's figures, 2.1 overs, 2 for 6.
Can West Indies get to 80, 85, a fighting total? Hasn't been the easiest of pitches to bat on.
Oh, and she goes across the line this time. Beautifully played by Calendar. Perfectly executed sweep. Gets 2.
Only one fielder on the boundary, 2 fielders on the boundary on the onside, but both in front of square. That one sweeping, of course, going towards square leg.
And it shows the belief by the captain in Singh. Singh is an off spinner. You can always hit with the turn and score runs in the onside. But her ability to put that ball continuously outside the line of off stump has been majestic. Hence the reason the offside field is packed. Singh, Calendar. Calendar just short of a length.
Not able to do much with that one. Ritu Singh has been flighting the ball well, keeping it full. And we've also seen so much turn on offer by all the spinners today. Being difficult to go.
Calendar down the wicket. It's an easy stumping. Ritu Singh continues to spin her web. Calendar stumped for 5. West Indies 77 for 7. And a bit of magic by Anika Kolan.
Great work again behind the stumps there by Kolan. But Ritu Singh, that one didn't bounce as much.
The flight, just drawing the batter in, the drift. It's like love me, then leave me. Just fantastic by Ritu Singh.
But it's the last over. The batter had to go. Calendar trying to get that boundary.
Understandably so. So, new batter, KD Jazz Mitchell. And with a middle name like Jazz, that is spectacular. KD Jazz, yes, that is it. She comes in, very awkward position, 77 for 7.
But just 2 balls left, so just go for it.
But like you said, though, stay within the shape. You can slog and miss everything, or push the ball in the gap and just secure runs. Singh. Oh, hits the pad. Huge appeal for LBW. But this time, that dramatic turn goes against Singh.
Yes. Again, holding your shape doesn't mean hitting with less power. You can hold your shape and try to impart more power, either with your legs or your hips.
Outside our stump goes across the line. It goes down to long on. And that will do it. The 20 overs are complete. West Indies 77 for 7 after winning the toss. The United States have come in and executed beautifully. Badriaju leading the way with her spell, picking up 2 wickets. Ritu Singh picking up 3 wickets. 2.3 overs she bowled, 3 for 8, led the way to keep the West Indies down to 78 runs. And to summarize things, Shabani Bakaskar, take us through.
It was a good start for USA with that run out, and then there was a bit of a partnership with the West Indies batters. And then there was just a flurry of wickets. The spinners came on, a stranglehold didn't allow the West Indies batters to accelerate at any point, keeping the run rate under 5 runs and over, under 4 at the end of it, just 78 runs. A great display of bowling and fielding by USA Cricket.
So we saw the opening pair with Samaru and Sao could not get much runs going. We saw the unfortunate run out in the second over, really put the West Indies back. However, Janaba Joseph came in with Samaru and they put on a partnership.
Janaba Joseph batted beautifully, some cover drives, scintillating 27 runs off her blade. But after that, not many partnerships. The spinners came on, Ayuni picking 1, Ritu Singh picking up 3, Badri Raju picking up 2. The spinners spinning a web, as you said, Ryan.
Shabani Bhaskar said it best. The spinners coming in and really getting a foothold in this game. Pick up the bowlers. What do you see?
Well, Ritu Singh picked up 3, but Bhumika Badri Raju got it going, and Snigdha Paul at the top, opening the bowling. 3 overs, 1 maiden, swinging the ball in, only 4 runs. That set the tone.
Well, so 20 overs gone, completed in the books in this historic series. The USA being put into the field by the West Indies. West Indies decided to bat first. They could only muster 77 runs. So, United States will be back shortly to get strike and go after the 77. Can they do it in 20 overs in Broward County Stadium? For Shabani Bhaskar, my name is Ryan Davis. We'll be back shortly with the second innings in this historic T20 series. Welcome back to Broward County Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The United States scoring 79 for 7 in their 20 overs after losing the toss. The West Indies won the toss, put them into bat. No, the West Indies decided to bat first. So now the West Indies have to defend 79 for 7. Thoughts on strategies?
Go for wickets. When you're defending something low, less than 100, less than 80 runs, you have to go for wickets. You almost treat it like a 15-over game. If you haven't gotten the other team all out or in a stranglehold by that time, it's highly likely that the batting team will pull the chase off. If you let it go 20 overs, it's very rare that the bowling team will win. So you treat it as a 15-over game, bowl your best bowlers, go for those wickets, almost like a test match.
Shabani Bhaskar, our analyst for this series. My name is Ryan Davis. We are happy to be here with you all talking Cricket West Indies versus USA. As the first batter, we have Disha Dhingra and also Chetna Prasad.
Chetna Prasad ready to face the first ball of the second innings.
It's Kate Wilmot, and this was an outswinger, a little too far. West Indies thinking about it. Umpire Ivy Mahabir.
Nice shape there. Swinging away, under lights especially, can be difficult.
We talked about, like you mentioned, the ball getting a little slick when it hits the grass. Let's see if the bowler can maintain that grip. And with the humidity, Fort Lauderdale is always humid. You can get some swing. So Wilmot. And Prasad is driving. Again, that ball just short of a length. So hard for the batter to get any sort of middle on the ball. However, what we saw was all about the spinners in that first inning against the West Indies batters.
And West Indies have plenty of spinners in their bowling lineup as well. It'll be interesting to see how they approach their bowling, the kinds of lines and lengths they try to execute.
Wilmot, this one's down the leg side and whipped through the pads, 4 runs. Beautiful shot off the pads, and Prasad is off like a gunshot.
Can't bowl there to Chetna Prasad. Picks it up off her pads. There is a fine leg fielder, but that ball racing away over this square leg and into that boundary. Very strong wrists. Quite a wristy player, Chetna Prasad. Does not hesitate to go over the infield.
No matter what ground you are, if you're going to live on the batter's pads, you will pay the price. Wilmot to Prasad. Ooh, again the outswinger is there. Another dot ball, crucial dot ball for this West Indies team.
Prasad watchful on that occasion, leaving that ball. That's the luxury you have when you're chasing a lower total, needing 80 runs to win. You can afford to leave a few. Wilmot getting some nice shape away from the right-hander.
So the protection, just a deep backward square, the only person outside of the circle. This one's outside off stump, and umpire Mahabir says, that's our first wide. I'm just going to throw it out there. We talked about the ball getting slick when it hits the grass. We've seen the last 2 deliveries by Wilmot straying compared to the first 2. That may be a factor.
Especially with that boundary, the ball gets a bit wet. Gets harder to grip. The seam gets wet as well. Can be challenging for the bowler.
Wilmot runs down the leg side. It'll be the second wide in a row.
Prasad not happy with herself for missing out on that occasion. A similar ball she dispatched earlier in the over. Yeah, looking at that region. She enjoys. She's more of an aggressive batter. She likes to go after the bowling, likes to take the bowler on.
Wilmot back to her mark, trying to find her line and length. Now the run-up needs to be adjusted. And if you're on the West Indies side of things, your opening bowler, your strike bowler, you need every bit of effectiveness, every bit of luck, if you will, to try to get a breakthrough in the opening overs, just to ask the question for these USA batters.
A breakthrough can make things very interesting.
This was the outside, and umpire Mehabir is having none of it. 3 wides and a boundary in the over. That's 7 runs, and we're only 4 deliveries in.
Oftentimes we see bowlers, whether in the nets or in a game, we saw she bowled an offside wide, followed by a leg side wide, and again an offside wide, trying to overcorrect or correct the previous delivery, whereas you're actually starting from 0. It's a fresh delivery, so you're not bowling the previous ball and trying to get that on track, but just bowling a fresh delivery.
Oh, and it's definitely a problem with the grip, Shabani. They go after the run. It's a no ball. We talked about the height of the deliveries in T20 cricket. And now it's going to be a free hit.
Seemed to slip out of Wilmot's hand, not able to control that ball. Well done at slip there to stop that.
This one definitely getting out of her fingers. No chance for the keeper, so. And first slip had to use every bit of protection to stop that ball from going to the boundary. So still 2 deliveries remaining. We have 4 wides and a no ball. Sorry, 3 wides and a no ball. And now a free hit to Dhingra. Beautifully bowled, and Dhingra goes after this. The third man comes all the way around, and they come back for an easy 2. So the first runs off of a bat for quite some time. We saw the flick off the pads by Prasad to get the boundary. Dhingra is now off the mark with a double down to third man. Now the score goes to 11 without loss. But it's still the first over.
It is. A wicket here could make this very interesting.
Wilmot, that's the delivery, that's the line, that's the length, but they still get 1. Good bit of fielding at mid-off. Looks like it was Mitchell. And that is the end of the first over. A good one for the USA. 12 without loss.
Definitely a good start. 12 runs off the first over, chasing 80 runs. Huge, huge moment in the game here.
Can't overemphasize. First match of a 5-game series. West Indies under 19 visiting the shores of the United States of America. The first time these 2 teams in any format have played each other. And it's the girls leading the way. Women's under 19. USA batting 12 without loss, chasing 78 for victory. I'll take that back. 80 for victory.
West Indies will take those 2 runs.
Absolutely.
Every run matters.
They'll take it.
Yes.
And Mitchell, who had a fantastic bit of fielding just moments ago, will come from the northern end, coming down the hill. Broward County Stadium, the stage where West Indies played India yesterday. Now the stage for West Indies U19 versus USA U19. Mitchell, outside off stump, and Dhingra thinks better of it, pulls it back.
Good start here by Mitchell. Nice shape again. Not as much swing as Wilmot from the other end, but just a hint. It's good to see the slip in place, going for wickets. That is what they need.
Do you think the West Indies may have had the same issue that you touched upon about, you played 5 games under the lights? You think maybe they've had some issues playing under the lights as well?
The ball behaves differently. When you bowl, the ball swings a bit more under lights, and of course, skidding off the wicket. And if there is dew, then that makes a difference. But in the regionals, in West Indies, they do play a couple games under lights, so that is helpful. But of course, not at the under 19 level, more at the senior level. Also depends on that year. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So that it is a huge factor.
Here's Mitchell. So it's outside off stump, just over the bat of Dingra. She looks at the umpire. Jermaine Lindo, standing on the northern end. So we've seen both Mitchell and Wilmot having a hard time gripping the ball, and the ball is straying too far outside off stump. Mitchell, Dingra. This one's full and it's a no ball. And they're both suffering from the same symptoms here. Just have to believe it is the grip, it is the moisture.
High again. What can Disha Dingra do with this no ball or this free hit? It'll be interesting to see how West Indies approach the rest of the innings. Do they bring on their spinners? Some of their spinners do open the bowling for their respective national sides.
Mitchell checks her run. You see at the bottom of your screen, 66 runs needed from 112 balls. USA in the driver's seat, 14 without loss. This one's a lot better delivery. Still far from the off stump, but they get one. You know, you almost want to just simplify things and ask the question to United States, who's batting right now, if you're going to score the runs, it has to come off your bat. I can't give you 25 extras to already, the total is just 80 runs. So you just want to see the bowlers simplify things, just put the ball on the stumps and have the batters do their job.
Ask the questions and make the batters answer them, whether that's through singles or boundaries.
Beautiful delivery by Mitchell. Pitched it middle and leg. Bit of outswing. As the umpire signals to the square leg umpire, just 2 deliveries left in this over.
It's been a good start for USA so far. The first over, many runs off it. 2 wide so far off this over, but just a single other than that. Other than those, a wide and a no ball.
This one's on off stump, square drive, and it beats cover. No protection out there. Gonna come back for 2. So a lovely shot on the offside to get the 2. So the pressure mounts on the West Indies, 17 without loss, and we're not through the second over as yet.
Again, you see they took off quickly, the batters, for that single, and that put pressure on the fielder to get to the ball quickly and try to field it, diving over that one.
Again, this one's in the air, and she's out. Good catch at backward point. Mitchell gets the breakthrough. USA lose their first wicket. It's Prasad for 6. Score 17 for 1.
Whether she was looking to go over that cover fielder. Just throwing her bat at that one. A bit wide, not quite getting to the pitch of the ball. A good diving catch there. That ball almost dying on her, but diving forward. Great technique as well. Oftentimes when you dive forward or to the side, when the elbows hit the ground, the ball tends to pop out. That did not happen. Holding on to that ball.
So the dangerous Prasad, who had the first boundary of the innings, she departs for 6. Mitchell gets the breakthrough, and I believe that was the end of the second over. USA 17 for 1, still very much in the driver's seat, but a wicket starts to ask the question, like we say, have a little doubt in the batter's mind. The human effect starts to set in.
Yes.
Dingra, 4 runs off of 6 deliveries. She's settled in. And an immediate change of bowlers. A woeful start to the innings. Kate Wilmot came on, bowler number of wides. And now the opening batter, Shalani Samaru, is going to get her turn from the commentary end. With that short run, no doubt, it's going to be some spin. And her protection, she has a deep mid wicket. And that is the only person outside of the circle. So it's going to be Samaru with her first delivery to Dhingra. It's beautifully bowled. Good line, good length.
This is also the same end Badri Raju and Ritu Singh bowled from, and both of them off spinners, finger spinners. So this is going to be a good battle. A slip is in place. The ball doesn't turn as much. She comes into play. Just as I said, that slip goes out. Adding an extra fielder on the leg side at 45.
So a bit of an adjustment by Munisir. This one is tossed up on a thick outside edge. This can go all the way.
Good chase there.
Fantastic chase and a good arm as well.
Zaida James. Just where slip was a ball before.
So Munisir, the captain, went a little bit defensive, took the slip out, and immediately the thick outside edge. They get 2. Dhingra goes to 6. 19 for 1. Oh, well flighted delivery and well taken by Sao.
Interesting to see. It could be the new ball. The ball is not turning as much for Samaru as it did for Badri Raju, but definitely different styles of off spin. Not as flighted.
Oh, it's full toss, pulled away to mid-wicket. And they look for 2, think about 2. Just a long single. Umpire signals 2 deliveries left in the over. And for the West Indies perspective, only 3 runs so far off it. It's the best so far.
Yep, Samaru, experience, vice captain of this West Indies under-19 side, captain Trinidad and Tobago in the Rising Stars tournament. Opened the bowling for them as well on a couple of occasions.
Samaru again, good line, good length, and it's driven through the onside, just one. The protection is there at long on. And that's Kate Wilmot, the opening bowler who had a torrid time from this end in the first over, who fielded that ball. The settled in Dhingra on strike. This one drifts down this leg side, clipped off the pads.
Dhingra and Colin looking to build a partnership here after the loss of Chetna Prasad.
So the historic battle between the USA under-19 and the West Indies under-19 continue. First match here tonight, Broward County Stadium, the stage for 5 T20 matches between these two teams. The second match tomorrow, right here on the same venue at 6:30 Eastern, live on YouTube. The third and fourth match, again at this ground, Thursday and Friday, 10:30 a.m. start. And then the grand finale, Sunday, 10:30 a.m. on YouTube, right here in Broward County Stadium. Under lights here tonight. The USA responded, shutting down the West Indies for 8 for 79. As Mitchell continues from the northern end and gets a dot ball.
Nice shape there. Also got a wicket in the previous over, so continuing with Mitchell, see if they can get another. Disha Dhingra strong through the offside, especially covers and point region.
We talk about the human effect. She got a wicket, ball before, confidence is now high. Good job by the captain keeping her on. Mitchell, ooh.
Beating the bat again. More swing on offer than we saw in the first innings. Possibly due to the lights. The ball does swing more when you play under lights.
So we see the bounce not holding up to the wicketkeeper Sao. Did she come up to the stump, so Mitchell? Mitchell with a lovely high action, side on.
It depends on the keeper's comfort of keeping up to a pacer, but also we have seen a bit of variable bounce on this track. Some balls have bounced more, some balls have kept low. Especially when Ritu Singh was bowling, we saw, of course, she's a spinner and Mitchell is a pacer. But she extracted quite a bit of bounce. And then on one of the wickets, the ball kept low and turned a lot. So there is a bit of variable bounce on this pitch. And if one takes off, then it becomes difficult, especially if you're standing up.
Mitchell, outside off stump. Does the umpire signal wide? Nope. He actually signals 2 more deliveries. We had a little conversation after the coin toss. I came back in here, we spoke about it. West Indies won the toss, decided to bat first. This wicket, had a little history doing some games on this very ground. 60% of the batting team first has that winning percentage, 60% chance of winning. That's a beautiful delivery by Mitchell. Team batting second, only 40%, means the pitch may have an unpredictable bounce as the wicket wears on. And under lights, it could be even more difficult with the ball swinging around.
Absolutely. Also scoreboard pressure. Even if it is a low score on the board, there is still that pressure to make those runs. You still have to get over the line. And if the bowling side...
Oh, a thick outside edge. Just beats backward point. Almost get that. There's an appeal for a run out. Umpire deciding. Looks like it's going to be a not out. Batters come to the center of the wicket. And that's the end of the 4th over. Excellent over by Mitchell. Just the one off of it. That same delivery that got her a wicket.
Yeah, very similar to that previous one. A slight fumble there. A close one. Ivy Mahabir, the umpire, ruling that not out. West Indies fielder is not very happy about that.
No. Bit of late movement by Mitchell again, and she's keeping that ball on outside off stump, really tidying things up.
As you were saying, Ryan, that is the confidence of taking that wicket and then bowling.
Samaru drifting onto the leg side, and she pays by giving up a single.
A quick single taken there, especially even though there is a mid-wicket fielder in the ring looking to cut that single. It was well placed with soft hands.
So the protection for Samaru, a deep mid-wicket and a long on. The power play still stands with only 4.1 in. Oh, look at the turn. It's a huge appeal for LBW. Samaru moved off to her left, thinking she had gotten the breakthrough.
Possibly doing too much.
Shabani, we talked about the turn and bounce. Pitched outside the line of off stump, but hit in line.
When the ball is turning that much, it's hard.
Oh, and this one is the arm ball. It never turned.
Mixing it up nicely here, Samaru. You've seen a few balls beat the outside edge of the bat, going straight on with the arm. And this last delivery, a ripper, turning almost square. Great variation.
Outside off stump, gets it on the full. Excellent bit of field at a backward point. Looks like it was James. They get the one, but look at the congratulations. Desperate feeling, and that's what's needed at this level of the game.
That could also trigger something in the field, something in their bowling as well. Small moments.
It sort of bleeds.
Brilliance.
It sort of bleeds into the rest of the team.
Yes.
Samaru again. This one's flatter.
Plenty of turn again. But moments of brilliance. Doesn't have to be a wicket. Doesn't have to be a brilliant ball. It could just be the effort, the commitment, and that lifts the team in the field.
Samaru. Beautiful line. Lovely length. They're going to get one.
Direct hit, maybe. I would have been close.
Bit of a suicide single. Still one delivery left.
but also good intent by these two batters, taking these quick singles, putting the fielders under pressure. Is that fielder coming in, going just out of her reach, over her head?
So we've seen the batters chasing wide deliveries and almost costing them a wicket. So the end of 5 overs, 28 for 1. Excellent over by Samaru. Excellent 2 overs by the Windies. They seem to be sort of crawling back into the match.
You just mentioned the wide deliveries, going for it, giving that opportunity. We saw Chetna Prasad getting out to a similar kind of shot, and Disha Dhingra almost getting out. So far, West Indies scoring 79 in the first innings. Janaba Joseph doing the bulk of the scoring.
And Ritu Singh on the other end, 3 overs, 3 for 9. Just brilliance from the commentary end. And from the northern end, we're going to have Mitchell, who has come back in a big way, bowling just 1 run in her second over. And despite having a torrid first over, got a wicket on that last delivery of her first over that brought her back into her second over and took that momentum to just get the 1 run off of it. Now, first delivery of her third is a wide. Hopefully the symptoms of the lack of the grip does not rear its ugly head again. Mitchell to Colon. Trying to get that single. You don't want to test James. Seems to be quite the field at point.
Electric in the field, chasing down that ball that went down to third man as well, and we saw a brilliant diving stop in the previous over. Coming back to reaching for those balls, especially outside off stump, going through covers, it's difficult to get power into that shot and go over that fielder when the ball is so far outside. Your reach is almost limited. If you draw almost like a semicircle or a quarter of a circle in front of you, that is your reach. And if the ball is beyond that, it's difficult to get any sort of power into that shot, whether you want to hit it along the ground or over the top. So oftentimes, if you watch, say, a Virat Kohli hitting his cover drive, he
Which
allows
is a beautiful
the ball.
sight. Just to say, go ahead.
Yes.
This was a full delivery, driven, but again, the feeling is excellent. Backing up their bowler, the West Indies.
If you see almost Virat Kohli when he plays his cover drive, he allows the ball to come. If you look at it from the square leg umpire's perspective, he's hitting it in line with his front leg or even slightly behind that. So that way he's able to control that ball. Nicely bowled again.
The line and the length, she is really settling in. And at this point, we saw Gatika in the first innings, the US captain, decide to keep a strike bowler when they found their rhythm, like Paul, for 3 overs on a stretch, sometimes 4. Do you do the same thing with Mitchell as she settled in?
Mitchell into her 3rd over already, and they could do that, especially if they smell a wicket coming their way, because wickets are gold right now for West Indies.
Oh, again, the late swing. And that's why they have that 3rd man. Good protection on the offside. They get the single. Just 1 delivery left. 30 for 1. Bottom of your screen, 50 off of 85. All of a sudden, the balls are getting closer to the actual score as the West Indies start to tidy up the extras and force USA batters to score runs on their strength. Again, the ball is pitched up straight to mid-off. Oh, a bit of a collision. Hits the stumps, and he's out. She's out. Dhingra hit the ball straight to mid-off, took off. A collision with the bowler, Mitchell. She's not happy, Dhingra. She looks back at the umpire, asking the question. Umpire holds firm. She's walking to the square leg umpire.
Great pickup and throw by the mid-off fielder. Clean pickup, direct hit. Now, even if there is a collision between the bowler and the batter, the bowler was not doing it intentionally. That is what the umpires need to determine, whether the bowler got in the way of the batter intentionally or it was just in the regular course of fielding or of the game.
Well,
And she didn't know that Disha Dhingra was running in that line. She was just trying to get back to the stump.
well, the call stands. Dhingra departs for 11. Big wicket for the West Indies. Fantastic fielding by Kamabach at mid-off, who hit the stumps directly. And now in steps Paul. Sneak up Paul.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
Welcome back to a beautiful Broward County Stadium. Historic match. USA U19 women's team taking on the West Indies women's U19 team. First match of 5 T20 matches. Dhingra run out. And now it's Paul in the wicket facing her first delivery to Samaru. Down the leg side. Instant call by umpire Mahabir. And we see the first left-hander coming into the wicket. And you can see Samaru already struggling.
Can take a delivery or two to adjust the line, especially right-hand, left-hand combination. And as you said, the first left-hander in the USA batting lineup today. So far,
Paul is quite the all-rounder. She opens the bowling for the USA. So it's outside off stump. And Paul's front foot was nowhere near it.
went back to a fairly full delivery. With the ball being outside off stump, you can take that liberty as well.
So now the West Indies have a bit of momentum after a shaky start. This one's a shorter delivery and is cut away. But guess who it is? It's James, moving from point to point.
And she's been on point in the field.
You know, I lined it up for you and you hit it right out of the ground. Great shot there, Shabani.
Thank you, Ryan.
Down the leg side, and it's always going to be a wide. Paul wanted to hit it in the stands or somewhere near the turnpike. So 2 wides by Samaru, 31 for 2. Samaru struggling to adjust to the left-hander. So one short, but it comes right into the left-hander. No turn, almost like an arm ball, whether it was intentional or not.
She seems to be bowling flatter and faster to the left-hander. That may be her stock delivery, trying to get her line right before she varies her length and pace.
This one again is appeal for a stumping. Square leg umpire is unmoved. Again, the ball just coming into the left-hander. Just continuing on, rather.
This one's slightly more flighted, a little slower than the previous deliveries. Bold to sneak that pulse, and she's walked in. Good work behind this stumps by Saw.
Paul struggling to get any sort of rhythm at the crease.
She comes off the back of a good half-century in the national championships, high on confidence. She's been batting well. She batted at the top of the order for the Western Conference.
This one's flighted down the leg side. Not sure if they got piece of the ankle or piece of the bat. We'll wait for the umpire's decision. And it's an appeal for run out. Not out, says the umpire. They get 2.
Off the legs there.
Great take by Sau. Paul back in her crease. Easy call for the umpire.
Good technique by Snigdha Paul there, running between the wickets, grounding her bat from before the line through the crease.
Are you a good runner between the wickets?
I'd like to think I have good technique.
I'm asking you that because I'm probably the worst runner between the wickets in the history of cricket. So I don't know if I was in good company or not.
We won't get run out if we bat together. Let's just say that.
Okay, gotcha.
I like my boundaries.
Good. Don't bother to run, Ryan. You just stay right there. I'll just hit boundaries. I love it.
Zaida James comes into the attack. She's been electric in the field. What can she do with the ball here?
And we talk about how fielding can bleed into other areas of the game. Like you just mentioned, James has been a wall at point. Now, being a lefty, going to bowl some left arm orthodox to the right-hander. Always difficult for right-handers as the ball just naturally goes, spins away. And the protection for James, she has a long off, deep cover, short delivery, points there. She has a deep mid-wicket. 3 players outside of the circle. A regular mid-on. And that's the coverage for the left-hander. Beautiful delivery. Not much turn, not as much turn as we saw from Badriaju and company. But the flight, the arc, and the length is there.
Also the first left-arm bowler we're seeing today.
Well, she's come right in and settled in, James.
There's something about left-arm orthodox spinners. They get that angle and the ball slides in with the arm, and then they get one to just grip and turn a bit. We've seen Jadeja do that so often. He gets a lot of his wickets with the ball that doesn't turn, the arm ball that just slides straight on, LBW.
But can he feel as good as James, though? Yes, he can. I've seen Jadeja feel.
Jadeja and James.
Oh, inside edge.
Almost playing that on.
It was a full delivery. We've seen Paul struggle in her first 7 deliveries now. Even though she got to the pitch of it, the timing is not there.
Playing outside the line of that ball.
And James lets her off the hook, down the leg side. They think about 2. Yes, they come back for it. It's Samaru who whips this one back in, but an easy 2 wides. That takes a little bit of pressure off of Paul.
Again, the right hand, left hand combination, giving West Indies bowlers a bit of trouble adjusting to that line.
This one short, cut away by Paul, beats point. And they come back for a long single. I think Paul is as good a runner as I am, so that's why she kept the long single and then come back for the 2.
Well, they do say don't run on a misfield. If the ball hasn't gone too far and you try to take a run off that more often than not, you may have a run out on your hands.
So James has come in, 5 runs off of her first 5 deliveries. And it's a full toss and it's maybe a no ball. It is. An appeal for run out. Umpire has given the out. The second time in the match, a batter has been run out off of a no ball. And it's the magic by James, not from her delivery, but from her fielding.
Presence of mind by James there. Bowling a no ball. The ball too high. Anika Kolan hitting it straight back. But Snigdha Paul had gone down the track.
Here's the replay. James bowling the full toss. It is a no ball. Takes the catch. Does not count. Look at Paul. She comes back. The umpire looking. Hits. And the bat may have just been on the line at the time. And if it's on the line, it's out.
The line belongs to the umpire.
Wow.
Good work there by Zaida James, although it was a no ball.
Gonna take a second look at this. Paul was not happy, but she has to go. Again, James, full toss, no ball, takes the catch. And look at Paul's bat. Does it get down? Getting closer. And that, my friends, is a fantastic call by the umpire. A bang bang play, they would say in baseball. We're going to borrow that phrase, and I think he got it right.
Just short of the crease there, Snigdha Paul, but great work by Zaida James. It's very important when you practice your fielding as well. Even if it's a no ball.
Oh, it could be another run out. First ball that she's run out. Hit it straight to cover. Got halfway down the track. The non-striker said no way. Couldn't get back in time.
Anika Colin walks back for 5.
Wow. USA have done everything right in the field and bowling wise. Now have come to the crease, and the running has been abysmal.
Moments of brilliance in the field by West Indies as well. The presence of mind for Zaida James in on that previous run out.
We didn't even get a chance to call the new batter's name. However,
Lisa Ramjit came in when Snigdha Paul got out, and now for Anika Colin, we have Tia Gonzalez in.
So, 39 for 4. West Indies not just crawling back in this game, they are sprinting back into the game. It's not only the wickets, it's the type of batters, all the recognized batters. Your top order is now diminishing. We're getting into all-rounder, wicketkeeper status coming into bat now. And now the tails are up in the field. The bowlers, they can't wait to get the ball back in their hand to come and bowl again.
The fielders can't
wait. The fielders can't wait to get the ball back in their hand for another run out.
Yes.
Samaru. Again, the arm ball, not much turn.
And what a couple of runouts does is, especially in such quick succession, back-to-back runouts, it puts the batters on the back foot. Now they're tentative in their running. They don't want to take those quick singles. They want to sit and make sure the ball passes the fielder before they take that run. So that is added pressure.
Like Shabani would say, the ones turn into dot balls, the twos turn into ones now because of the hesitation. Look at James here, bit of brilliance. Not with the delivery. This is the run out. Again, a full delivery. Beautiful play by the captain. Ashmini Munisar leading by example.
Especially when you just had a run out off a full toss.
Samaru. This one's middle leg, a half-hearted appeal. Going to get a leg by. And that takes the pressure off of the batter.
This game far from over, Ryan.
You said it, Shabani. I thought the USA would come in and just take their time and knock the runs off. But the West Indies, after a nightmare first 11 deliveries, have now come right back into the game. 40 for 4. This one comes into the right-hander. Ooh, a misfield, and they get one. It was the Captain Ashmini Munisa, who had a brilliant bit of fielding, misfields one and gives up a single. So at the bottom of your screen, 39 from 68. However, the wickets are tumbling. This one's wide outside off stump. Add one to the total and an extra delivery.
The two runouts that we saw in the previous over, the first one off a no ball and the second one off a free hit. Batters often feel it's a no ball or a free hit, we have to get runs off it, but the run out is still there. That compulsion to get runs off a no ball and free hit. Of course, it's a free delivery. You can go for it, but also be careful with the running.
So, the end of 9, 42 for 4. West Indies back in it. USA licking their wounds. We have Ramjet and Gonzalez in the wicket trying to repair things. So, James has not exactly lit up the room with her bowling. She had a couple tight deliveries, then a no ball, a wide, but a brilliant piece of fielding on all parts of the pitch. Here she is again. Outside off stump, it's a full, let's just call it a wide Yorker. The misfield by the wicketkeeper, so they get one.
Difficult that one for the keeper when it's so full outside off stump. You want to get up with the bounce. You have to stay low on those occasions, almost sweeping the ball like a half volley.
James, again, not much turn. The ball hurrying on to the batsman. Just continuing on, almost skidding through. Beautiful night in Broward County Stadium, Fort Lauderdale. It's roughly 78, 79 degrees under lights. This was a full and well-driven. Short extra cover is there for that exact reason. And it's none other than the captain herself. Munisa.
A few wickets, a few dot balls, tight overs.
This one short, outside off stump. It would have been a wide, but the offer was there by Ramjet.
This game just got very interesting with those two runouts.
And now the pressure falls on the number 5 and number 6 batters. Oh, and trying to just pull that onto the onside. Gets glove onto it.
Darting that in, James. Quicker. Building up dot balls here. Will something give?
Just one by the first delivery. This one short, cut away. They get the single, maybe 2. Think about it. But the West Indies feeling has been fantastic. Just the one, the end of the over. 10 overs gone. 44 for 4. We're halfway through there, Shabani. Any thoughts? The batters now, the pressure now on the USA. What's the thoughts of these two batters? Do you just slow things down, or do you start to be positive and put the pressure back on the West Indies?
We're just looking at the Worms, comparing the two innings. USA slightly ahead, but with those wickets you see dipping. The Worm is dipping. West Indies did get a few good overs towards the end, 1s and 2s. This match is neck and neck, especially 4 wickets down. You need to be positive. You have to score the runs. You have to get to that 80.
Well, like Shabani said, West Indies full of spinners. New bowler, Ramnath, pulling some finger spin, but you look at the height, you look at the high action. This could be problematic for Ramjet. Ramnath can't wait to get the next delivery in. This one shorter. Again, no turn, an arm ball, diving, getting to the single. Everything seems to be so complicated now for the USA.
This is also good by the West Indies bowlers, pushing through their overs quickly.
We talk about allowing the batters to be the ones to score the runs. Don't give away the extras. Or they get the run from the misfield.
When it's not going your way, you want to slow the game down, take your time, set the field, drink some water if you can. But when it's going your way, finish your overs quickly.
Ramnath, again, good line, good length. So now the batters start to feel they have to do something extra, something special. And I think, Shabani, like you said, keeping it tight, the spinners doing their job. That can make the difference, and it's a catch. And she's out. A half volley just outside off stump, and Ramjet hits it straight to cover. Ramnath with the breakthrough. 5 wickets gone. West Indies doing the job on the field.
Ramnath comes into the attack and gets a wicket off her fifth ball. Has been bowling very tight, and a good catch there at extra cover. Again, that wide delivery, trying to go over cover, not getting enough on it. And that brings Captain Geetika Kodali to the crease.
Well, Captain Fantastic herself is going to have to come in here and put her authority on the game. Has the time, has the deliveries to work with, just has to execute. There is no rush. 80 runs on the board. 9 overs left after this delivery. But the bowling has been tight. The fielding has been exceptional for the West Indies U19 women's team. First match of 5, historical 5 T20 matches. West Indies on the shores of the United States in Broward County, Fort Lauderdale. Shabani Bhaskar, Ryan Davis, live on YouTube. Ramnath bowling her last delivery. Ooh, asking the question, and a brilliant way to wrap up 11 overs, 46 for 5. Shabani, how can the captain get herself and her partner into this game?
Just play your natural game. She is a good striker of the ball, has good reach, good driver of the ball. Play smart. There are plenty of gaps in the field. You do have the boundary riders, and that means there are gaps inside the circle to just place the ball and run. Don't have to, as you said, try anything extra. And that is the panic that sets in when you lose wickets. But you have to realize, again, you have 9 overs and you're only chasing 80. You had a good start. You got 12, 13 runs off the first over, which put USA in the driver's seat. You're ahead of the run rate. You just have to keep ticking those singles over.
James de Gonzalez. And now the human effect. We always talk about the lack of confidence now as a batter. Even the half volleys, you can't put it away or push it into the gap. It's more of a survival game.
But after, as you said, those 11 deliveries, difficult for West Indies. They've come back into the game so well. Bowling tight lines, brilliance in the field. Not much you can do with that.
And that is just a pitch. I mean, right on middle and off. The ball continuing on to the right-hander. James has not been turning the ball at all.
James confident, pulling that long on-fielder into the circle, trying to cut off that single as well.
Gonzalez trying to play through the line of the ball, just to try and get anything outside the fielding circle. 4 dot balls, pressure mounting, no need to panic. 5 wickets in hand. West Indies have only mustered up 79 runs, 8 to the target. Wide delivery, it's through Sau. Fly slip is chasing, it's Mitchell and it's 4 runs. 4 extras and something just to relieve the pressure for the United States.
The batter may have been kicking herself for missing out on that full toss, but the runs coming for USA on that occasion. The ball racing away to the boundary. Keeper again too high. Those half volleys, full deliveries, difficult if you've already gotten up. Staying low, half volley, sweeping that ball.
James, short delivery, punched away on the offside. Extra cover comes in. Easy single.
You can also see James, the previous delivery, flighted, full toss, went for a boundary. Although it was a good delivery, this one she pulled it back much shorter, compensating for the previous delivery.
So, 39 runs remaining. 48 deliveries to be bowled. All of a sudden, the balls remaining and runs to be scored are catching up with each other. We saw the disparity only overs ago. Ramnath, full toss, pulled away. Deep mid wickets, going to hold them to 1.
Navina Ramnath bowling a brilliant first over, getting a wicket as well. Bowling tight, and she's also getting through her overs quickly. That first over, she got through so quickly. That also puts pressure on the batters and doesn't give the batter time to think.
Kodali plays through the line of the ball beautifully. Long on's coming across. It's going to beat long on. Brilliant shot by the captain. Well, if it was ever a time for Captain Fantastic to stamp her authority, it's now when Kodali gets a valuable boundary for her team.
Great placement, low risk. That mid-wicket was inside the circle, beating her. There's runs on offer, playing it wide of that long-on fielder. Brilliantly executed. Low-risk shot.
Is Ramnuth going to hold this one back? She does. Punched away to extra cover. And poor running. We talk about the second guessing. And here's the boundary. Beautifully played through the onside.
Full swing of the bat. She can hit the ball. Stylish batter as well, Geetika Kodali.
Batter's doing the right thing. Coming into the middle of the wicket, having a discussion about the running. Kodali got all the way halfway down the wicket and got back. And that is a beautiful delivery. And they sneak the single there. So the meeting paid off. They think about a second. And they're going to go after it. And they get it. Desperate running, but it pays off.
It's also a good second run because you see on the non-strikers end, both the bails are off from the previous throw. And that means you either have to replace the bail and then hit the stump, or you have to pull the stump out of the ground with the ball for it to be a run out on this end.
Ramnuth, beautifully bowled. And guess who's there? James. Oh, it's a misfield. And a single. Every run counts. That was on Ramnuth.
Good awareness there by Geetika Kodali and Tia Gonzalez taking that single. The long on fielder not able to come in time to back that up.
Ramnuth again. The deliveries have been fantastic, but now everyone's second guessing themselves out there. So the end of 13, 59 for 5, 21 off 42. Geetika Kodali, 8 runs off of 12 deliveries. She's come in, hit 2 boundaries, and has looked every bit the part of a captain trying to lead her team to victory. Chasing 80 runs. Now it's 21 from 42. New bowler coming into bowl. It's the captain herself, Monisa. Captain to captain. Again, the line and length is there from ball 1.
The intent has been good by Geetika Kodali. Yes, 5 wickets gone when she walked in. But she put that full toss away, taking these singles. Pushing for that overthrow run. Alert, focused.
And what I like about the captain, Monisa, who's bowling now, she's only put one person outside of the circle. Two players outside the circle, a long on and a deep in the wicket, to protect that shot. There's a long on there. They're going to get the one, but she's forcing the batters to try to do something special to get the boundary. Putting the pressure back on them. Get the single. Gonzalez is going to face.
Yes, that offside cordon tight.
Speaking about offside, in comes cover and short extra cover.
When the batters are on the back foot, 5 wickets down, you put that pressure on.
Oh, it's pulled away. There's a short fine leg. Again, Captain Kodali gets all the way down and comes back up. It was her call. The ball went behind the batter. That was Kodali's call. But you can understand with the runouts.
That's the tentative mindset that comes in with runouts.
Easy single, well played by Gonzalez. So, that over went by in a flash. 14 overs gone, 61 for 5.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
Shabani Bhaskar with me in the commentary booth. Ryan Davis. Historic night in Broward County Stadium. Ramnath comes in, a short delivery. Pulled away, and it's going to beat the short backward square leg, and a valuable boundary for USA. Ramnath's first delivery, it was short, it was a long hop, and pulled away by Gonzalez.
Short and down leg. No deep square leg fielder. That fielder inside the circle. All she had to do was get it past that fielder, and that was her boundary to take.
Well, the run rate to begin this over was 4.5. They get 4 right there. The pressure is off. Ramnath. Now she finds her line and length. Wishing she could have that first delivery back.
This partnership has been good for USA, rebuilding. Geetika Kodali being the aggressor.
Pulled away again. Another short delivery. Square leg is having none of it. Have to say the influence of the captain coming in, that positivity, the ability to score big. Those 2 boundaries taking a little bit of pressure off of the batter on the other end has now inspired Gonzalez. 13 off 18. Ramnath, good delivery. So, 2 deliveries left in this over. Ramnath has come back with 3 dot balls.
But still, that boundary is what they needed. That's the cushion that a boundary or a quick or good runs in the first 2 or 3 deliveries provides to a batting team, especially when right now the required rate is less than 3 runs and over. If you get runs early in the over, you can always bat it out.
Well, Ramnath did a great job in between the first and the 6th delivery. But she gets hit for her second boundary of the over. A fantastic over for the USA. And that's the end of 15. 69 for 5. 11 runs remaining.
11 runs in 5 overs.
So, Ramnath, two loose deliveries, and Gonzalez putting them where they should be, at the boundary. Here's that replay for that last one. Another short delivery. Tried a leg spinner. Okay, Kodali, captain. Facing the other captain, Munisa. And it's a wide delivery. So now 10 runs. And the only thing that can save the West Indies right now are wickets. And I'm sure Kodali knows that. And will adjust.
We spoke about whether to bowl your googly variation as a leg spinner or not. We saw in the last ball of the previous over, she pulled out a leg spin delivery, but she had been bowling so well up till that ball.
Talking about bowling well, it's a good delivery by Munisa. But Kodali adjusting, just pushing the ball, playing the ball at its merit, gets the long single. Like you said, the off spinners were on cue for 4 deliveries, and then she tried to switch one up. And this is a wide delivery. Every so often, Munisa loses the grip.
Less than 2 runs and over required from this point.
Well bowled, well played. However, not many runs to work with in the first place. And the West Indies had a period where they bounced back, but USA have come in with this partnership. Gonzalez, who had 2 boundaries in the last over, gets a 3rd boundary, and that completely puts these winning runs in sight. Another boundary by Gonzalez. She goes to 21 off 23.
Again, down leg Gonzalez. We've seen already 2 boundaries with that shot, and this one being the 3rd, making the most of that. Although that ball did keep quite low. Well played there. Keeping it simple, these two.
The partnership came at the perfect time, at a desperate time, and they've responded. Again down the leg side. And that is the end. They think of a run. And that is the end of the over. 16 gone. Only 4 runs to win.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both.
So Ramnath comes back, gave up 2 vital boundaries to USA in the last over. She continues from the commentary end. This one outside off stump. Umpire Mahabir is unmoved.
Well inside that wide line. Just 4 runs now for the USA.
Worked on the onside, and it beats the fielder, and he can go all the way to the boundary. And Captain Fantastic scores the winning runs. Gitika Kodali serves it up, and the USA wins this historic match at Broward County Stadium. The first match of a 5-match series between the West Indies U19 and USA U19. USA have now won by 5 wickets in a commanding performance. Take it away.
3.5 overs left, 5 wickets left. USA chasing these 80 runs. Seemed like a bit of a hiccup in the middle there, but Gitika Kodali, captain, and Tia Gonzalez putting together a brilliant partnership to see USA home.
Shabani, did it all start with the field? Did it start with this partnership? Where was the turning point for USA? Did it start when they bowled first? Where did it all begin?
It was a very good overall team performance. They bowled well, fielded well, started well with the bat as well, and then finished with this brilliant partnership. Just an overall team performance is what I see.
So there you have it. You can see the players congratulating each other. It was well played. It was an evenly contested match. Both teams may have struggled with the bat, but on the field and bowling, it was exceptional. This West Indies U19 team cannot hang their heads. They put on a heck of a performance on the field. It's their first match under lights, and I'm sure tomorrow night at the same time there will be an adjustment by both teams as the USA win by 5 wickets to start this first match of a historic 5-game series in Broward County Stadium. Joseph, fantastic 27 of 44, but it was not enough. Ritu Singh, 3 wickets, 9 runs, set the tone. Badri Aju, 2 for 15, really put pressure on the West Indies. And then USA's innings, take it away.
Tia Gonzalez top scoring for the US and supported well by Gitika Kodali, the captain, stitching together a brilliant partnership to see the team home. The spinners doing the job in the first innings for USA. A convincing victory, but I feel this game was much closer than the scorecard suggests, Ryan.
Well, you heard it from Shabani, our analyst. USA win by 5 wickets. We'll be right back with the Man of the Match award. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Broward County Stadium in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, a site for an historic event. The first time a full ICC member team has toured United States of America, and it's the West Indies U19 girls, women, take on the women's USA U19. And with us, we have the losing captain of today's match, Ashmini Munisa. If you can join us. So, quick summary. USA won by 5 wickets, and the West Indies captain, Ashmini Munisa. Ashmini, tough go out there. What was it like under the lights?
Under the lights, it wasn't anything that hard. I think the girls adapted to the conditions pretty well. But as it relates to the loss, it wasn't the result that we wanted. But going forward, I think that we had, overall, it was a very good performance. The girl put on a very good fight. And going forward, we just have to win all the rest of the games.
So after winning the toss, batting first, the performance with the bat may not be the best. Any adjustments?
I'd say we just have to rotate the strike a bit more, and play the bad balls. That's it for me. As it relates to the bowling, just build more pressure. But like I said, tonight the girls, for first time, they were outstanding. So congratulations to the US team and congrats to the West Indies team, even though they lost.
Munisa, the captain for the West Indies. Thank you. Time for the winning captain, Gitika Kodali. Huge moment. You came in at the right time. A fantastic run performance right at the end. What was it like playing under the lights in this momentous occasion, leading the USA?
Yeah, it was honestly amazing playing under the lights. It was a great opportunity for both of our teams, and I think we really enjoyed the opportunity to just play under the lights and get that feel for a different type of cricket.
So we made a little joke when you lost the toss. I said, not such good luck. You lost the toss. You said no matter what, I would have bowled first. How did you guys manage in the field bowling first?
Yep, the toss didn't really concern me. I have a pretty horrendous toss record. But we did have good momentum coming into the game, and we thought about sticking to our personal goals, both batting and fielding. And I think we achieved those goals really well, and we were trying to win the game in sessions. And in the end, we came out on top. But I think the West Indies put on a really good effort. They definitely gave us a run for our money in there, and I'm glad that we had people contributing to this team's win.
Despite the win, any adjustments you can see in the upcoming game tomorrow?
I think we would like to be tighter with the field, and definitely in our batting, we would like a little more communication between the wickets, but it's all things that we are constantly striving to improve on. So from here on out, we just want more and more convincing wins so we can come home with the series title.
Winning captain Gitika Kodali, thank you very much. So with us, we have a member of the USA Cricket Board. It's none other than Srini Salva, who's going to give out the Player of the Award today. So, Player of the Award is none other than Ritu Singh. Ritu had 3 overs, 3 wickets for 8 runs, a commanding performance. So that's all for tonight at Broward County Stadium. It is the first match of a 5-match series right here in Fort Lauderdale as the West Indies continue to take on the USA Women's Under-19 team in this momentous occasion right here in Broward County Stadium. That's all for us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Toss at 6 p.m. We'll see you then.